What's up, everybody? A Ward here, and I'm here to let you know that the A Ward Show is now officially brought to you by the Ripple to Wave Foundation, where they're manifesting waves of impact, one ripple at a time. Ripple to Wave empowers volunteers to create real change, from mentoring youth and protecting the environment to supporting those people in need. That includes seniors, veterans, and even animals. Yes, even animals. Every project is a chance to make your ripple in the community, and together, those ripples form waves of impact. The team at Ripple to Wave stays active with projects and events just about every weekend, and they're growing fast. Their Albuquerque, New Mexico team just launched their first project, and they're only getting started since their official launch on June 2nd of 2025. Get involved, volunteer, and learn more at rippletowavefoundation.org. That's Ripple, the number 2, wavefoundation.org. Follow them on all their socials at Ripple, the number 2, Wave Foundation on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to them on YouTube. Together, let's make some waves. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the A Ward Show. I'm your host and curator and engine. I'm all the things. I am A Ward, and I appreciate you guys tuning in for another week. I hope you guys had a great week, and I hope this next one is going to be even more amazing for you. I hope you guys had a great week, and I did. And I'll get into some of that in just a moment. Before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff that all the podcasters tell you to do. Make sure you hit that link tree. Make sure you go to all my socials, follow me on my socials, TikTok, Instagram, a bunch of other ones. I'm all out there in the streets. If I'm not there, like I said in the past, let me know. I'm pulling up. For all my people who cannot watch and don't have the time to just sit there and watch a video, don't have the YouTube premium, whatever the case may be, I am on your favorite audio podcast sharing platforms. I'm on Spotify. I'm on iHeartMedia. I'm on Apple Podcasts as well, and so many others. Make sure you guys go over there, leave me a rating, comment, all that great stuff if you want to listen to the sultry sounds of A Ward in the vehicle. I had a fantastic weekend, and I just wanted to, before I get the show started, shout out to my partners, Ripple to Wave. We had the first toy giveaway, toy drive, this past Saturday. I'm recording this on a Monday, and what's today's date, man? I don't know. December 15th. I'm recording this December 15th, and so the 13th we had the Waves of Joy toy giveaway, and I just really wanted to shout out. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody, but I wanted to show love. What a great event. We were able to give toys away to, I think we hit the goal, if I'm not mistaken, of 1,000 kids. And for the first ever toy giveaway for Ripple to Wave, there was some things we had to get through, but we got through it. It was a fun event. Got to meet a lot of dope people. Got to meet, I think, most of the team or all of the team for Ripple to Wave. So shout out to my man, Anthony Freeman. If you guys have not seen that interview is out on my YouTube page. And it's also on my audio platforms as well. And so shout out to Anthony Freeman. Shout out to Armando. Shout out to Detailery Photography, my man. He was holding it down with the shots and the videos and all that. Shout out to Aaliyah. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to Cheryl. Shout out to the team at Ripple the Wave. If I forgot anybody, let me know. Shout out to Chris Kid. He was in the building as well. The Bomb AZ, Torchy's Tacos, a bunch of people, man. So there's a lot of other people that were involved that I probably don't have the names. And for all of you that were involved, shout out to you guys for the amazing work that you guys not only did that day, but the days leading up to it. I know there was a lot of stuff. There's a lot of behind the scenes that goes into stuff like this and packing, making sure everything's, at least trying to get everything organized. So shout out to the team at Ripple the Wave. And I hope to see some of you guys that weren't able to make it. I hope to see you guys at future events. I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you guys updated. Now, you know what time it is. We're going to get into these sports because, damn it, it was a week and a weekend, especially in the NFL and especially for some dude down there in Michigan. We're gonna talk about that as well. And, this is the segment that I'm going to talk about sports, but I probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. This is Yo No Say Nada. All right, we're going to start with the NFL like I normally do. And we're going to start with the Thursday night game. As I said, I'm recording this on a Monday, so I typically record on Mondays. So I never really have the chance to review the Monday night game. If you guys would like for me to do a short episode on Tuesday and review the Monday night game, or if you guys want to hear my thoughts on it, let me know. Maybe I can just do it on TikTok or Instagram and run a quick live and holla at y'all. You guys let me know. I'm getting my stuff together in this podcast world. So you guys let me know if you do, and I will make it happen for sure. But let's start with the Thursday night game, man. Get the buck out of here. The BUCS, man, lose a major one to Atlanta on Thursday night, and they got lucky because something else happened on Sunday. But at the time, I was like, BUCS might be, because in that NFC South, like I've said in the past, if it's not the North, if it's not the West in the NFC, you're probably not going to make the playoffs as a wild card. You're going to have to win the division. You're going to have to win it in the East, and you're going to have to win it in the South. You're going to have to win that division. And because of the other team that they were kind of fighting with for the lead in that division, what happened with them, and we'll get into that. That was wild. But at the moment, it felt like, man, they might have lost the division. And obviously they played a divisional opponent in Atlanta who couple of things happened in this game, man. First of all, Kyle Pitts went the hell off. Went off like 11 for 166, 3 tubs. He was juking. This was the Kyle Pitts that you saw flashes of his rookie year and what you expected to kind of turn into over the next couple of years after his rookie year, and it just hasn't flourished. Now, they've had issues with offense, like the calls, but he's had major drops over the last couple of years. This was his like statement. Now, can he keep that up? I mean, he had like rare air. I think this was one of the best single games since like Shannon Sharp, and I forget who the other one was. So this was like a major game. Can he keep it up, or can he get close to that where he's at least in the 80, 90 yards, 10 catches, 8 catches for around $1 in a tub? Can he be a red zone threat? We'll see. But major game from Pitts. Bijan was good in both the run and the pass game. He had a tub. He had a bad fumble in this game that it felt like at the time was probably going to lose Atlanta the game. And Atlanta, they were trying to lose because they had penalties. They had penalties. If they had a penalty box, everybody was going to – if it was the NHL, everybody was up in that thing. Everybody was going to have to be in there because they had 19 for 125, 19 penalties for 125 yards. And Tampa had a few. They had 4 for 25. But, man, it was like, bro, what is going on? Face mask and false starts, and it was wild. It was wild. So they were trying to lose that game. Now, Mike Evans was back for Tampa Bay, and Mike Evans went crazy. Like, he looked really good, and you felt that, like, Mayfield was starting to get a little bit of his confidence back. Obviously, Mike Evans is one of the, like, to me, a Hall of Famer. You look at his numbers, you look how consistent he's been through his tenure in Tampa. Like, it's crazy. And this was like one of the first years where he was out. You know, obviously he was injured, but he went off. Like, he looked great. But Mayfield had a costly bad turnover in the fourth, which, like I said, kept Atlanta in it. And Atlanta goes down. Zane Gonzalez comes in, and Zane Gonzalez is their kicker. He's the third kicker for Atlanta this season. And you're like, oh, shit, here we go again. Here we go again with these goddamn kickers. And he kicks it, drills it, and wins the game for Atlanta. Now, a lot of people are saying this might have saved Raheem Morris's job. I don't believe so. Maybe. We'll see. Kirk Cousins looked okay. Like, I think people were like getting a little overhype on the Kirk Cousins, how he looked. When you have Kyle Pitts have an unworldly game, quarterback's going to look good. And Bijan played really well as well. So we'll see. They cannot get into the playoffs. So you're kind of just, if they win, it's for momentum or to kind of screw up other people's hopes. And I do think that they'll make a change in Atlanta. I think they should. I don't know if they will. I'm not sure if they will. Maybe this did save his ass. I don't know. Burrows, Bengals, buried. I said this last week. But this was, they had a chance, obviously, to try and shake some stuff up. And the last couple of losses were bad. Yesterday they were shut out, completely shut out. Burrow looked terrible. And if you haven't seen the news or his comments before the game, take a look at these comments before the game.
No, it certainly doesn't change my desire to win. You know, if I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. You know, I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? So that's the mindset I'm trying to bring to the table. Changing point. I'm not sure there was a singular moment or of time. It's just a reflection on a lot of things that I've done and been through in my career. I think, you know, I've been through more than most, and it's certainly not easy on the brain or the body. So just trying to have fun doing it again.
So a lot of people were speculating after those comments, was this another Andrew Luck situation? Was this another Carson Palmer situation where, you know, he's just tired of being in Cincinnati? Was this the Andrew Luck situation where he's just done with football, done with getting hit? He's been injured multiple times throughout his career. You know, just hasn't really played full seasons except for, and I might be mistaken about this, but I think the only full season he's played was the Super Bowl year. I might be mistaken. But, or the year that they went to the Super Bowl. But him just saying I'm not having fun, and you know, he did come out and say later on that it wasn't directly about Cincinnati. After the game, he talked about it. They obviously asked him. But he played terrible. Like, he just looked uninterested. And through bad interceptions, like I said, they got shut out. They didn't score at all, 0, put a goose egg up. And the beginning of the game, like, it was really close. It was pretty close where, yeah, the Bengals were playing bad, but the Ravens were only up 7-0 for a while in this game, like through a good part of the first half. And then they go 14, and you're like, okay. But it was still tight enough where you're like, the Bengals get going. They obviously got some dogs. They got Chase. They got Higgins. They got, Brown was kind of getting going, but then, just really couldn't get it going. Wasn't enough to sustain. And with Burrow playing bad, with him having the bad turnovers that he had, it just put the Bengals in too bad of a spot. And then the last one he threw, which he got picked off, and the guy's running it down. I forget who it was, but he was running it down. He hands it off to his teammate. Teammate scores for the pick six, quote unquote. So yeah, Burrow just looks uninterested. Now, there's a lot of people and analysts and all that stuff in the sports world that are speculating where he's going to go. If could somebody trade for him? I've seen some stuff about the Rams. Maybe Stafford retires and then Sean McVay does some magical trade. They've got a couple first. Obviously, the Jets are in the conversation because the Jets are always in the conversation to try to get a quarterback. But I do think this is closer to an Andrew Luck situation than a Carson Palmer. He just did not look interested. So we'll see how the rest of their season goes, and we'll see how that all unfolds. Does he get traded? I don't believe Cincinnati would trade him. But they're going to have to do something to shore up that line. They're going to have to do something to help him out. I know he looked bad, but that wasn't like this stuff hasn't been entirely on him. He needs to stay healthy. But also they need to protect him. Major game, man. The battle of the East, the battle of the AFC East, the battle of the AFC Kingdom, was the Bills versus the Pats. And this game went how it's been going for the Bills the last few weeks. It's what we wanted. It's what we expected. We wanted a fight. We wanted two juggernauts in the AFC, in the NFL, to go at it. Division rivals. Obviously the Patriots are back in that best team, one of the best teams in the league conversation. The Bills have been one of the best teams for a while and have been running that division ever since Tom Brady left. And yeah, man, like it was a dope game. It was a fire game. Now, some people have jumped out the window on the Patriots, like, well, we can't trust the Patriots anymore. We can't trust guys. It was a close game, and the Bills, they've been doing this the last few weeks. The Bills have not been playing well in the first half. They were down 21-0. They've been down the last, I want to say, this game and the two games before that, they were down big in both games. And then they get some momentum going at the end of the first half, and then they just turn the shit on in the second half. Defense does not play well in the first half, and they lock shit down in the second half. And that is exactly what happened in this game. Like, James Cook went off. And when Cook gets cooking for the Bills, they are hard to beat. When he gets to going, especially if you get him involved in the pass game, which they did. He got him a passing touchdown, receiving touchdown at the end of the first half to put him, at least get some momentum going, and then it happened in the second half. And, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He does Josh Allen things. He can be, he's a polarizing player. He can be really, really stagnant, throw bad interceptions, have bad turnovers, and then he could just be unworldly. And that's what it's been the last few weeks, where it's just been like they might be uninterested in the beginning of these games, or maybe feeling like I don't know why they would be uninterested in this game. But, Patriots went up early. Now, I love that Drake May. There was a play where Henderson on a touchdown run, and you see Drake May, he's running down the field, sets the lead block. Sets the lead block, right? Sets the last block for Henderson to get in the end zone. Gotta love that from your quarterback. Now, there were two in my mind, and don't be out here killing me, telling me I'm wrong, whatever. I don't give a shit. There were two questionable PI calls / non-calls. Now, there was a interception that Drake May threw in the second half. I forget what quarter it was. I think it was the fourth. I believe it was the fourth quarter. And those an interception that I thought was clear PI, and they didn't call it. And then they turn around and on the Bills' possession, and they call a PI call against New England that I thought was a good defensive play. Could you have called it? Possibly. But I'm looking at one call one non-call that didn't happen that would have helped the Patriots because Drake May throws an interception on that particular throw, and then which seemed way more egregious than the one they called against the Patriots. That's my view of it. Now, I don't know if that actually was the deciding factor in the win or the loss because they had a couple more times to drive down the field and just couldn't get anything going. I saw a lot of people jump out the window on the Patriots this morning. Like, calm down. Like, first of all, they didn't get blown out. It was a really good game. They were up in that game. And sometimes there's good losses, man. Sometimes there's losses that like, okay, let's get back to the drawing board. There's some things that we probably ignored because we were winning. And we need to pay attention to these things. They lost 35-32. Relax. For those that really do know me, they know that I love to grill. I love to barbecue. I got a Traeger. I like to hook it up. I got my Weber grill. I like, you know what I'm saying? But I've never been to KC, man. And I want, KC barbecue. Because that's exactly what happened to Kansas City. They are cooked. They are done. And they are officially out of the playoffs for the first time in 11 seasons. And you've got Patrick Mahomes, who suffered a season-ending ACL injury. And another big player in the league had the same thing happen to him yesterday. We'll get to that in just a moment. And you know it when you saw it. You know it when you saw it. I've said this before. You knew when you saw it. Now, this year I've seen they got to figure out the fields for these. You guys make billions of dollars. Billions and billions. And there's so many non-contact injuries this year, like season-ending non-contact injuries. Just plant, knee explodes, calf explodes. Like, I get that the upkeep of some of these fields is costly, but so is losing your freaking star player for the rest of the season or half the season or whatever the case may be. For the Chiefs, it's not that huge of a deal because they're officially out. So, maybe this they need to really look at some things that they've probably been ignoring because they obviously made the Super Bowl last year. So we're good. Kelsey comes back. He's been now. He hasn't been as bad as I thought. I thought he took a huge step back last year, and I thought that was going to continue. He hasn't been that bad, but he's at the end of his career. He's doing the media thing and all that, and they need to start looking at some things. They need some help on the offensive line. They need to get some real dogs on the outside. Rashee Rice is good, but They need Worthy's getting going, but they've got to figure some stuff out team-wise, because they have a lot of guys that are older and that they have contracts tied into. So now they didn't lose the game by like crazy. It was what, 16-13, right? I want to say. And Chargers looked great on defense. Chargers looked fantastic on defense. They were flying around. They were hitting. They hit Rice one time. I was like, God damn. They hit. I mean, and they were like, the announcers was like, no call for targeting. No, it wasn't. It couldn't be. He just knocked his ass out. Boom, right through the middle. No helmet to helmet, just good old form tackling. Like it may have looked like targeting immediately, but you saw the replay. You were like, God damn. Split that man in half. Pause. And Justin Herbert's dealing with the injury and all that. So I thought the Chargers were going to lose this game. I mean, Mahomes, the injury took place on a drive down the field with 2 minutes to go, where you're like, he's going to do it again. And then Gardner Minshew goes in for the Chiefs and like gets pretty close to scoring a touchdown to win that game, to put him in position, but it just didn't happen. The Saints go marching again. They beat the Panthers, and that kid Shuck looks good. For the Saints. The Panthers, you let them off the hook. You had the chance and you let them off the hook. Like they could have had the lead in this division, which they've been fighting for the last few weeks, to just get back to that, just to be like, we'll be right there. Now, their schedule, they're still good. Like, I think they play the Buccaneers twice in the last 3 games. So there's going to be some stuff decided on a couple of games that are coming up. But they had their chance. You're playing the Saints. You just watched the Bucs lose on Thursday. Go win the game. Bryce Young is good, but he just needs some more time, man. He just needs some more time. He makes some decisions where you're just like, nah. And I just think that's youth. And this may be a year that they look at that they're like, okay, we have some stuff to build on. And then we can really, retool for next year, because they've got some good young receivers. McMillan's been great for them. And Dowdle has been pretty good for them this year as well. Like, surprisingly. And so, but Tampa takes a huge sigh of relief, because the Panthers had a chance to make a statement and they didn't. And the Saints won, and now the Panthers are still fighting for the division lead to try to get into the playoffs. And Tampa, even though they lost on Thursday, they survive another week. I don't know if you guys remember this. Let's not wait till the waters run dry. Well, this one is, let's not wait till the rivers run dry. Because Phillip Rivers, old-ass grandfather, retired coaching high school football, playing with his kids and his grandkids in the backyard, dusted off the cleats, dusted off the shoulder pads, and came back out of retirement for the Indianapolis Colts. And I know we were all like, when this story broke last year that they called him and he was going to go work out and do the physical for the Colts, we were like, oh, what? Nah, hell no. And then he signs, and they're like, yeah, he we try to make sure he can start. He will play. And God damn it, 44-year-old Phillip Rivers was out there. Now, the age is not the big deal. It's the 5 years that he's been away from football. He was eligible for the damn Hall of Fame. I think he was a semi-finalist for the Hall of Fame this year. And he suited up, man. And damn near won this game. against the Seahawks, who I'm thinking, first of all, the Colts they had multiple injuries on defense. You're going into that game like you have been for the last couple weeks, where essentially, even though, Phillip Rivers was his first time starting, but you're going in there trying to stop Taylor. You're not thinking Rivers is going to do anything. And the Seahawks have been great defensively. Now, they were still in this game, but you're thinking they're going to destroy Phillip Rivers. And they kick a field goal with 40-something seconds left that essentially should have won them the game. Now, Darnold drives down the field, and they kick the field goal to actually win the game. But I'm sitting there like, this motherfucker's going to pull it off. This motherfucker was just coaching high school football, playing with the kids, just still finishing leftovers from Thanksgiving. Was like, hey, who was that? The Colt? They want me to come play? Where my cleats at? Go get the cleats. Dust them out of the box. And I mean, he threw a pass to Alec Pierce that set up the field goal. That was like, it was a dime. I'm like, this motherfucker, he's gonna do it again. I think Phillip Rivers made more of a Hall of Fame statement in that game. Now this is like, I'm going a little overboard here, but I was like, yo, that was kind of Hall of Fame shit right there. Like, I think they should just, even if, he finishes the season out, he probably won't play next season. I think they shouldn't restart his eligibility. I think they should just hold off for a year and be like, but he came back after 5 years being retired. Especially if he stat-wise wasn't a great game. But for being gone for 5 years, goddamn, it was a pretty good game. And not real, like, you didn't have an off season. You haven't been, really training for it and come back to start and almost win a game. Now, the Seahawks were being mad conservative on their offensive play calling, and didn't even score a touchdown. Jason Myers won the game single-handedly because he kicked all field goals for the Seahawks, including the one that won the game. So, but I think the Seahawks were being a little. I think they felt like they can go into that game without a crazy game plan and win, and essentially they did. But I don't think they were trying to really blow the doors off anybody. So I think they were looking ahead a little bit, and it almost came back to bottom of the ass. They almost flooded in them rivers. God damn it, Phillip Rivers, man. Just when you think the storylines can't get any better, Phillip Rivers. Damn it. Shout out to Phillip Rivers, man. You already know the song Let's Ram It. Let's ram it. Because the Rams win a major game against the Detroit Lions in a fantastic shootout game where Jared Goff was playing well. Amon-Ra was playing well. Matt Stafford was being Stafford. Puka Nacua was doing Puka Nacua things. Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, David Montgomery. Like, it was a good ass game, and everything, like, when you look at the lineups every week and you see certain games, Pats versus Bills, that turned out to be the way you wanted it to be. Unless you're a fan of the Patriots, but you love the competitiveness. Rams versus Lions, great game, shootout game, boom. I don't know. I want no Rams versus Lions. I don't want no defense. I want offense. I want some scoring. I want touchdowns. I want you. And Stafford's getting it to everybody, man. Stafford's getting it to everybody. Higbee, Parkinson, Puka Nacua 30 times a game. Now Devontae Adams goes down with a hamstring injury. He was nursing it before going into this game and was just running down the field. Another non-contact injury. And damn, dude, if he doesn't pull up on that hamstring, he's probably scoring a touchdown on that play. But I think he'll be fine. I haven't heard any news on it. They'll probably nurse it for a couple of weeks. I saw a couple people, Rex Ryan, a couple people saying, man, this is going to be huge. You know, he's a big red zone threat, man. If you watch the way Stafford played and the way he's been playing, outside of that bad loss where he had all those turnovers, it don't matter, man. They've got weapons everywhere. That team is loaded with weapons. They've got 2 tight ends that can straight ball out, 2 running backs that can straight ball out. One of the best wide receivers in the league in Puka Nacua, who just can do it all. They'll be fine. Now, the Lions needed that win. They needed that win. The Rams clinched the playoff berth. The Lions, they go as Gibbs goes. Like, even though Jared Goff had a great game, Amon-Ra St. Brown had a great game. J-Mo was all right in this game. Montgomery was good. But Gibbs couldn't really get it going. And they go as Gibbs goes. They go, if Gibbs goes off, they normally win. They normally, no matter what the rest of the team does. Like, if Gibbs is an integral part of their offense for whatever said game, they normally win. So tough loss for the Lions because of some other stuff that happened. And just every game is just like a loss could really, really take your ass out of the playoffs, man. They still got a fighting chance, but there were 2 other games that happened yesterday. One that kind of helped the Lions, the other one that didn't. And the other one that didn't was the Broncos versus the Packers. We're Broncos country. Let's ride again. Damn, dude. It's time to just believe in the Broncos, man. Number 1 in the AFC, number 1 seed. It's time to just believe in the Broncos, man. Whether you like Bo Nix, whether you don't like Bo Nix, whether you think they're winning, and he looked great in this game. Their defense is real. Sorry, I was reading something here. My bad. Like, get to the point, man. My bad. Their defense is real. That offense got going. The Bears beat the Browns. And so this loss for the Packers was huge. And the way the playoffs are rolling around, where it's like you can go from the 7th seed to the 6th seed to the 2 seed. It's crazy. It's crazy. Big win for the Bears that, with the Packers loss and the Lions loss, helped them. But Broncos, man, looked fantastic in this game. Micah Parsons was the other ACL injury, excuse me, of the NFL. And another non-contact injury where he's literally about to sack Bo Nix. Like, he has a shot, a free-for-all shot, and just sniper got him. Non-contact injury, they got to figure the stuff out, because that's for them, for the Packers, that is major. That's major. Because he's just been, as he's gotten going since he's gotten there, he's just been getting better and better and better every week, getting to that Micah Parsons that we know. And this was a terrible, horrible injury for him. Prayers up for the brother. Prayers up for everybody that's injured. Whether you're a fan of the team or not, you don't want to see that. We don't want to see the best players not playing, man. No matter who it is, no matter what team you root for, whatever. But huge win for the Broncos, who might have the best path as of right now to the Super Bowl. They are good, man. They are good. It's time to believe it. It's time to believe it. It's time to believe it. And I think all these little ass, close ass wins. Now, somebody was like, well, Bo Nix, he has all these comeback wins in the last quarter. Well, some of that is the Broncos' fault, where they haven't been, gotten going early enough. But there's something to be said that they're winning. And that was a real test yesterday against the Packers. Staying in the NFC North division, the 9. JJ, I'm just going to talk about this real quick, man. JJ has looked better for the Vikings the last couple of weeks. They beat the Cowboys. And dimmed a little bit of light for the Cowboys. Dallas is still in it mathematically, but they would have to win out, and then they need Philly to lose out. A lot of other things to play. I don't think that's going to happen for Dallas. And they're going to have to really, really focus on some defense in the offseason for sure. Which they had a guy. I know he just got injured, but, you know, because the trade was, I think the trade has helped them out defensively, but they still need some stuff. But JJ's looked better for the Vikings the last couple of weeks. They have some hope. I do think whatever it was a couple of weeks ago when he was sitting and he was injured, quote unquote, I think they had a real conversation with JJ. He's playing a lot more loose, a lot more fun. And he's looked better, man. I got to give it to the kid. He's looked better. And O'Connell's been definitely sprinkling that magic. So, shout out to the Vikings, man. JJ McCarthy has looked better. You guys got some hope. You guys got a little bit of hope for next year. Can't do nothing this year, but next year you got some hope. In this week's weekly edition of What the Fuck Are We Doing? Take a sip. We got Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore doing some dumb shit. If you have not heard the story, if you were a sports fan, I know you have. But if you have not heard the story, Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore, who was the heir apparent after Jim Harbaugh went to the Colts, he took over for Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan college football team. And he was fired from Michigan very abruptly, out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but just in the timeline of this happening. So he gets fired, ESPN, Fox Sports, like all my notifications go off while I'm at work. I'm like, oh, what the fuck happened? And Sherrone Moore got fired. And then next thing you know, like within an hour, he was arrested. I'm like, he's arrested? What happened? And then it comes out that he had an affair with a staff member, and bought Plan B. And we know why. If you don't know why, go research. I ain't got to tell you. What seems like the wife maybe found out and confronted him about it. And then he threatened to kill himself. And then he left the crib, broke into the mistress's house, and then threatened to do harm to her and him. And then ends up leaving, goes to church. The wife has the Life 360 on him, so she's like, yeah, he's at the church. And they got him, and he is arrested. He's being charged. And just, first of all, people that are going through stuff that really have issues, make sure you reach out, talk to people. You definitely. And we don't know where his state of mind was. I mean, we can assume, obviously, he got caught and just didn't know how to deal with it. And so he went to the extreme. What's crazy is, I've seen people like, if it was anybody else, he wouldn't have been fired. All the extra stuff he did was what said it all. And so, like, you make your bed, you got to lie in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. And, this stupidity, man. Stupidity. I think the others, like, obviously the initial affair is an issue, but you handle that, like, you know what I'm saying? You go through that and you probably get a job down the line as an assistant, whatever. Now he's done. Now he's going to be in jail for sure, because they're going to lock his ass up. And then he'll never be a coach ever again. Like, life is ruined. And then that's just a little bit on top of the rest of the shit that he's going through. So, now the speculations for who Michigan is going to get at this time, which is the most terrible time to be looking for a head coach. Just stupidity, man. So, I know you guys are going to be mad. I got some quick baseball news. I know if you guys are baseball fans and you saw this, I know you was pissed. But Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers, let's go. Let's go. And if the Dodgers make this trade that they're working on, y'all going to hate me. Y'all going to hate the Dodgers. Don't be mad. We just trying to win. Just trying to win. The Red Sox could have signed Mookie. Freddie could have been signed by the Braves. The Angels could have re-signed Ohtani. The Angels could have won. They could have won more games for Ohtani to want to stay. Let's just keep it a buck. Not everybody's Mike Trout. Mike Trout should have left a long damn time ago. But man, I can't wait for the Dodgers games, and I hear that dun, 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 dun. Y'all know it, man. The lights flickering. Man, you already know. Don't be mad, man. Edwin Diaz. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go. Let's go. Now the Mets not only lost Edwin Diaz, but Pete Alonso signed to the Orioles, which was crazy. Huge. Like, they just lost two major pieces, man. And hey, everybody's talking about the payroll. The Mets had the second highest payroll last year. They could have paid. They tried to pay some people. They could have paid Diaz. They could have paid Alonso. They could have paid Alonso, and they left. Edwin Diaz said, I want to go win. Didn't feel like he could do it with the Mets. I can't wait. Y'all going, that might be my outro music. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, come on. Let's go, Dodgers. All right. I'm over here clipping the damn audio, man. The audio's like, man, shut your ass up. Now for the segment that tells you that the boob tube is so good, you have to force your ass to go to bed. This is Turn the TV Off.
Turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
All right, couple of things for Turn the TV Off this week. First things first, I watched the thing that everybody watched, man. I watched the Sean Combs, The Reckoning, the 50 Cent produced documentary of Sean P. Diddy, Puffy Combs. And there's been multiple Diddy documentaries, for lack of a better word. Since his arrest and since the charges and, all that stuff. Only reason I watch this because 50's the greatest troll of all time. Like, he is so petty, and the level of pettiness is so funny and fire to me that when I found out it was produced by 50, I pulled up. And my overall takeaway is this from the documentary, that there wasn't much that came out that we didn't know. A lot of this stuff had been reported or talked about for a long time. And even if it was talked about most recently with the trial going on. And then there's always kind of this Hollywood feel that you hear about this stuff. And then, Diddy's been involved in all that. And the rumors they've been out for years. But I thought what was very telling was the kind of his upbringing from his mom. His reason for getting, propelled into stardom was literally an event that he threw, that multiple people died. I don't want to, if you haven't watched the documentary, I'm not going to give too much away. But the relationship between him and Biggie and Tupac before the beef, how he had a prior relationship with Suge Knight, at least knew of him. They knew of each other. the whole Cassie shit and how that happened, just how he treated people. This is all stuff that, has been talked about. Obviously we knew he was a freak. We knew he was a freak. It was a song there, freak in the morning, freaking it in it. Just like that was Diddy. Diddy was a big freak. Baby Oil Johnson. Baby Oil McGee. So, but I thought the documentary was done well. Obviously there was so much footage that Diddy had recorded, and then Diddy didn't pay the dude, so 50 went and paid the dude for the footage. So this is all like real footage that Diddy was aware of, and 50 got the behind the scene, got the BTS, and so if you guys haven't checked it out, go watch it. It's actually pretty interesting and done pretty well. The lady that helped him, I forget her name. I think it's Alexandria. I forget her last name. She's done documentaries and she's super dope. So go check all that out. Leave me alone. Stop texting me. Netflix, man. I talked about the Netflix and the Warner Brothers deal last week, and I wanted to expound upon it a little bit more. I watched some stuff where some experts say that it could be bad, man. It could be bad. Now, I heard that Sundance Paramount is trying to do a hostile takeover. They're offering more money in excess of $100 billion, billions and billions. And they're trying to get the board to overturn the deal. And I said that there would be buyouts involved. So the WB would have to pay Netflix if they get out of the deal, and it have to be, I think it was like 2 point something billion. Which they would gladly pay if they're getting 100 and something billion. Now it depends on how they feel about, do they want to sell it to Paramount? Do they feel better selling it to Netflix, who has already integrated some of the shows onto Netflix? Like already they've already integrated, like you get on Netflix, it's like HBO Max original. You're like, oh shit. But some of the experts say, man, it's going to be less originality because you have, basically Netflix is going to own everything. And so they just, you're not going to have multiple places to go for different styles. Like you're just going to get the Netflix style. They're going to own the property, but they're going to do it the way they want to do it. And, I've heard it compared to like, the quality is going to be worse. And I've heard it compared to like, for my audio people out there, you take a wave to an MP3, right? Like you're condensing it, you're squishing it together. And so therefore you lose some quality. And I can see that. Now people are going to lose jobs, obviously, because, the executive or whatever on this side for Warner Brothers, it's going to have to go against the executive for the same thing for Netflix. And so we can only keep one. Somebody's going to get demoted, fired, whatever. But we will see, man. I really want to pay attention to this deal and how it affects other deals for streaming and entertainment. Like, pay attention, man, because the one thing, and I've been talking to people in the comments about this as well, is if the less you have available, the more you can just be like, but you can't get it nowhere else, so I'm charging your ass. And that's what's been happening. That's why shit's so expensive, because you can't get it everywhere like you used to. So we got to be careful, man. Like, as much as we don't want to pay for like 1,000 streaming places, do you want to pay more just to have 3 of them things? And then you're not going to have great content. As we know, Hollywood's been forcing the IP shit where they're not, creating a lot of original. They're just bringing back old stuff, or doing sequels and prequels, and so I think I think we start to lose some of the art. We start to lose some of the creativity. And then AI is going to be a big part of that as well. You know, wherever you stand on AI, it's going to be a huge part of that as well. The algorithms, you know, what it trains the algorithms to tell you and all that stuff. So I'm really paying attention to this. If you guys are interested, let me know, and I will keep it going, keep letting you guys know what's going on. I got some information from Pablo Torre Finds Out. So that's where if you guys go to Pablo Torre Finds Out, he had some stuff on it. That was really dope. And he had a couple experts on there that were talking about it that I really paid attention to. So my bad. Give me a second here. Oh, here we go. I'm looking something up. Okay, let me see here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Now, for that segment that gives you something to listen to, I haven't had it in the last couple of weeks. For that fire playlist, this is What You Heard. All right, I don't have a new album. I have an old album because Christmas is right around the corner, man. And whether you celebrate Christmas or you don't, that's up to you. There's no judgment here. Whatever holiday you celebrate, I love you and I appreciate you. And whether you want to argue about Christmas and Jesus' birthday and all that, I'm not here for that. I celebrate Christmas, and that's what it is. Don't be coming for your boy, man. But one of my favorite albums to listen to around Christmas time, man, is Boyz II Men, Christmas Interpretations. Man, Let It Snow on the Boyz II Men Christmas album it's a classic to me, man. It's a classic. I can't go Christmas without hearing Let It Snow and the way that beat drops. Let it snow, boom, 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 boom. I need that. I might go play it after this. I need that in my life during Christmas. Obviously, this album came out in 1993. That's crazy. Excuse me. It's on Apple Music. It's remastered on Apple Music. If you guys want to go check it out, I go to Apple Music because Spotify don't be paying nobody. Nope, none of these companies do, but Spotify be really robbing motherfuckers. So, love. Let Us Know You're Not Alone. Cold December Nights. Why Christmas is fire too, but it's kind of sad. And then their rendition of Silent Night is dope. But Let It Snow with Brian McKnight. I'm doom. Let it snow, 'cause outside is cold, but the fire's blazing, so baby, let it snow. Come on now. If you have not heard that song, you need it in your life. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, just listen to Let It Snow. Fire. So shout out to Boyz II Men, Christmas Interpretations. I'm about to go slap it right now. You think I'll play it? I'm about to go slap it right now. All right. We are at the end of the show where I give you guys some narrative, a narrative, something that I want to talk about. And you're like, man, the whole show is something you want to talk about. I know. But something that I just, maybe a quick word of advice or something fun to talk about. And so let's get into it. Here is my narrative. All right, as I get through the sniffles in these holiday season, and I'm going to be listening to Let It Snow. the holidays get so hectic, man. We get so tied up with all the other stuff, man. And we have to remember to be grateful. We have to remember to be grateful for the things we have, you know what I mean, and things we get. And not let it be about greed, not let it be about, you know, not exactly getting exactly what we want. We have to be grateful for the things we have, and, you know, helping out Ripple the Wave, seeing smiles on kids' faces, seeing smiles on parents' faces. You know, it really puts a lot of stuff into perspective, man. And I'm definitely not perfect, man. I'm super fallible, man. Like, I have stuff that I work on every single day and stuff that I still need to work on. Like, I am far from perfect, and I am not trying to achieve it. I'm just trying to get better every day and try to be the best version of myself every day. And I fall short a lot. But I am grateful, man. And you know, I've been through a lot, still going through a lot. But the one thing I do is I thank God every night, man, just for the stuff that I have. Just the fact that I have a home to go to. I have a roof over my head, you know, and you see a lot, the area I work in, I see a lot of homeless people, man, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks. And there's just more and more and more and more by the day. And it just sucks, man. And so, you know, a lot of people are struggling, even those who haven't struggled or starting to struggle because of where we are in this economy. And I'm not going to get into the politicalness of that. And I would appreciate if you say something that you leave the left and the right and all that bullshit out. But we are where we are. It is what it is. And people are struggling more than they have in a while. And, you know, I just, please be grateful for the little bit that you have, because first of all, you never know when it can be taken away. Never know when it can be taken away. Second of all, remember that somebody always has less. Somebody always has less. There's somebody who would just love to have the things that you have, that you look at like, eh. So, be grateful. If you can give back to whatever local charity is around you, you know, obviously do your vetting and all that good stuff, but there's so many food banks out there. You can volunteer to give out food, right? Toys, clothes, socks, drawers, you know, if you're out and you're shopping, buy an extra pack of drawers to give to a nonprofit, to give to charity. That'd be great. If you guys are in the Phoenix area or in Arizona and you want to find out how to help Ripple the Wave, obviously I have the QR code and all that stuff at the beginning of the video. But you guys can DM me, reach out to me on TikTok, Instagram, through YouTube, whatever. And I will definitely get you guys that information. And I'll be talking to Anthony over the next couple weeks to figure out how we can help out the community, some of the events that are going to be coming up. So, but you guys be grateful. I'm grateful for you guys for pulling up for another week to listen to me just blabber about stuff. I'm really grateful. I appreciate you. I really do. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, go hit the link tree, pull up on my socials, hit the other 2 links for the other gentlemen that helped me out with the music for the intro and the music for what you heard. Make sure you pull up on them, go say hi to them, tell them thank you. Like I said, hit up all my socials. If you can't watch your boy just talk on YouTube, you can listen to the sultry sounds of A Ward on your favorite audio podcast sharing platforms, whether it be Spotify, whether it be Apple, iHeartMedia. If I'm not on one of your favorite ones, let me know. I'm pulling up. Make sure you tell your mama, tell your mama's friends, tell your cousins, tell your grandmama and them. Pull up on an A-War show. And I love y'all. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. And I see you, job turkeys, next week.